so proud of the work that's being done in Huntsville by all.
Right now, guys, you're hearing our Alabama senator on a live conference call. Wanted to stop talking so you can hear as much as you can. Okay? So listen.
And pretty soon we'll have the Mazda Toyota manufacturing partnership that hopefully will be up and running. This is a true testament to the world-class workforce that you've got across the Tennessee Valley. I think we've got an opportunity to build on that success and take it statewide to make sure that every child has an economic opportunity, has a better shot at an education, regardless of the zip code that they live in. I want to make sure it's easier for folks to vote, that have clean drinking water, and that's safe, doesn't contain harmful chemicals. And I want to make sure that we do continue the work that we've done the last couple of years in putting federal.
One of the things he mentioned was that the senseless lives that have been lost of Black lives started in the South, and we should be the leader. He said it for years. We should be the leader in changing it. The South should be the leader.
We're trying to get hazard pay for frontline workers. We're trying to make sure that we have more money for research and development of a vaccine and testing. But we've also got to address the issues that are facing us head on with regard to race in this country. You guys know my history. You know I have been a proponent of trying to have these dialogues for some time. I truly believe we are in a moment in history now that is important, and we cannot let this moment pass.
Can't let the moment pass.
We are seeing it all across this country.
All over the country.
Protests, not just with the folks taken to the streets.
I think this is
but we're
cool.
seeing it in businesses across America. We're seeing it
He's
in
doing
NASCAR.
a live conference
We're
call.
seeing
They
it
just
from
happened
one
to
end of the
call
country
me.
to the other,
I'm
that
just
folks have now
a voter.
seen and finally that we have got to do a better job in America of making sure that we are living up to the ideals of this, that this country was founded on, that all men and women, all human beings are created equal. So we've got our work cut out for us. This week,
I'm going to try to think of a really good question to ask.
Whether or not to get on
they let you call in and ask questions.
I'm a co-sponsor of the bills that was sponsored by Senator Harris and Booker, which creates some important changes. There is another bill I'm on with Senator Duckworth that will create some changes to the way that excessive force is used and investigated, and create independent bodies for doing that.
I want to see.
So we got a lot to talk about.
What bills?
Main thing I want you to know is part of this is not just, I am not doing this just to let y'all know everything that's going on up here. The purpose of this sometimes is through your questions and comments. I take back what the cares and concerns are in the community. I do a lot and see a lot, but it's listening to you that is really important, and I will do my best to answer any questions you have. If I don't have those, I've got some staffers on the line that can help. Or if we don't have the immediate information, we will try to get back to you. That's why it's important. If you are in the queue, pressing *3 to get in the queue, stay on. If we don't get to your question, we'll come back to you, or you
when
can
I
stay
get
on
ready.
I want to leave with two quick things. First of all, I had the honor the other day of introducing to the Armed Services Committee General Gus Perna. General Perna has been the 4-star general of the Army Material Command there in Huntsville since 2016. Just an amazing guy, truly a patriot. And President Trump has appointed him to be the chief operating officer of Operation Warp Speed to try to develop.
So the general in Alabama has been appointed by President Trump.
I was so honored to have him there. He will be confirmed, and I'm looking forward to some great service out of General Perna to continue. The other thing I want to encourage folks is to please, if you haven't done the census yet, please go on and do that. You can go to my2020census.gov. It is so important. We are in jeopardy of losing a congressional seat, and we don't want that to happen. We're also, the census, it helps divide up money for all the states, and it's based on population. So please go on the census. So I'm told we have about 1,100 folks on here. So we got a lot of people.
1,100 people, guys. They can't hear me. It's on mute.
To get in the queue, and
I can't breathe. It's by BCDC.
Stay on. Leave the question.
I'm advertising his T-shirts. If you want to buy any, they're $10.
Let's get into some questions and comments.
Yes, sir. The first question comes from Danny in Huntsville. Danny, you're now live, Senator. What's your question?
Yes, Senator Jones, I think you're doing one outstanding job for the people of Alabama. My question to you, given all the controversy surrounding the Confederate monuments in Alabama, specifically Alabama, there's been a lot of discussion about them to take them down and put them in museums. I'd like to know your position on it. I would like to say more to it, but I know my time is short. I'd just like to know your position on the Confederate monuments in Alabama.
Well, Danny, I appreciate that, and that is a hot topic. Back in 2017, when I was first running for the U.S. Senate, I said then, and I spoke several times about this. On a personal level, I believe those monuments ought to come down.
You might have my vote, y'all. You might have my vote.
I have said also that it's my belief that is a local issue. I don't think the state of Alabama should be passing a law like they did that would fine a community for taking down any monument that they want to take down. I don't believe it's the federal government standpoint. I do believe it's a local issue, but when I say that, I don't mean that you just simply take a vote. I think that this is an important emotional issue for a lot of people. And quite frankly, this is not a question of erasing history. We're not going to erase history. We don't want to erase history. We need to make sure we remember history so we don't repeat it. But what this does is
as you repeat trying to lynch me, it's going to be a problem. I'm going to have to get that 380 on you, yeah.
It's a place where the United States Army has got a huge command there, the Army Material Command. And I from my standpoint, my personal standpoint, I think they ought to be moved to a historical site, a museum or something, and taking those down. But I'm going to trust city leaders to listen and not just take a vote on it, but they need to listen to all people in that about this. And I think the time has come.
Just a reminder for anyone who's just joining us, if you'd like to ask Senator Jones a question, you can press
I'm going to think of a question
Senator, the next question comes from
so that I can hear my voice on
Colleen,
here,
now,
just asking a question, because this is going to be like history to me.
Jones,
Okay,
would you
don't talk right
support
now.
including Social Security recipients in the next stimulus package?
Colleen, yes. I mean, Social Security recipients were included this time. In fact, they were. I assume you're talking about the direct payments.
I got a question already, guys.
Citizens that were making less than $70,000, and Social Security recipients were included in that. In fact, early on, I sent a letter to the Secretary.
I got a question now. Even though they were included, some of them were claimed by their children, and they don't get to get anything.
Social Security recipients have bank accounts information there as well. It's already on file. Use that to get them their checks. And so most Social Security recipients should have got.
I'm pushing the button now, y'all. I got a question.
Get Social Security, but they also have other income that
I hope my phone doesn't die.
But Social Security recipients should have got it. I don't know.
The Access Live event operator has been notified that you wish to ask a question.
Certainly.
Y'all hear that? I'm going to ask a question, and I hope my phone don't die.
If you'd like to ask Senator Jones a question, you can press *3. The next question comes from Robert N.
Oh, I must be behind like 1,000 people.
Yes, I'd like to know.
My phone may die like in 1 second, y'all. It's on 1. And my children left me with the broke charger. And that's just so low down.
Because I could never support a person or a party who takes that particular position.
Yeah, well, look, I appreciate that, and I don't take that position. I'm a former prosecutor.
Oh, you know what I better do?
The United States Attorney.
My laptop is going to die. I got charge issues all over the place, y'all.
Police chiefs, sheriffs on.
Y'all listen.
I don't think that is a good idea. I would never support something that would defund the police, and I don't think that will ever come about, quite frankly. I think, law enforcement serves a very, very important public safety function. But what I think we are going to see is, I think everybody, I think all cities, states, and I think every community, and including every police department, ought to really be taking a look at themselves.
I hit my foot, y'all.
What it is the function? What is the public safety function of law enforcement? And think sometimes we have moved way beyond law enforcement. They have to deal with mental health issues. They have to deal with other things, and they've moved away a little bit. So I don't think it's inappropriate to try to take a look at where we are with law enforcement. But certainly, I agree with you. Law enforcement serves a very, very important public safety function. There is no question about it. I am a strong believer in that, always have been.
I got two questions now.
I'm working to try to make some changes within law enforcement because I think they're badly overdue. But that doesn't mean by any stretch of the imagination that we should defund them.
If you'd like to ask Senator Jones a question, you can press *3. Senator, the next question comes from...
You have already been placed into the question.
I'm already in the queue. Look at me. I'm all impatient.
Please press 1 to confirm or 2 to cancel.
I didn't hear what they said. God.
You have not been removed from the question queue.
I'm still in there.
Private sector owning, the children owning guns in the houses, people carrying guns on in the stores, and it gets crazy with guns. How are you going to handle that?
There go my phone call. Dang, it went dead. God, y'all, it was getting good. I wanted to ask my question. Dang, I was going to tell the senator, a lot of people that I've tried to do their stimulus, they couldn't get it because their children claimed them even though they have disability. They couldn't get their stimulus because they were claimed by somebody and they missed out. And some of their children missed out. So I didn't get to ask that question. I got this bogus charger that they left me with. Oh, I knew I should have bought another charger. Well, at least my laptop. Wasn't that kind of neat, y'all? Oh, I got some politics stuff on here. Okay. The senator of Alabama that represents the state of Alabama, I'm kind of liking what I heard. I like the fact that he said those monuments should have been taken down, put in a museum. I agree that we should not defund the police. Whoever thought of that, I think is kind of ludicrous. And I'm Black American. I don't call myself African American because I'm Black. I was born here. Deuces. Can't, put me African American. I appreciate maybe my ancestor came from America, Indian, or Africa. I don't know. I know I'm Black. But anyway, it's a good thing he's having a town hall, and he's having a town hall regarding the state of Alabama. I think that's a good thing because he's got people that he called. We didn't call and ask to be called. He called us, and my phone is just dead. There it goes. It was dying and it's charging now, but you know how it goes when they leave you with the bum charger and then they get your chargers and they take them with them and they never bring them back. Anyway, I just wanted to get on here real quickly, guys, because I had a wonderful time with my grandbabies. I was going to show y'all some pictures. I had my grandbabies Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and today they left and went home. But shout out to me. I'm a glam ma, but I'm also my oldest daughter. I don't have any children married but one. And my oldest daughter is getting married. She got engaged. And, I had to keep those babies for about 3 or 4 days. And congratulations to me. I'm going to be a bride's mother. I think I'm going to be the bridezilla. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. And thank God for women. My daughter is a beautiful woman of God. She has 4 children of her own, and her fiance has 3. So they're a blended family. But guess what? And I want to put this on my live. Can you believe the devil is so busy and so mad? It hadn't been 2 days since they got engaged, but somehow the baby's mama found out and she's having a fit because now her ex is engaged to my daughter. Now she's been sending the children over there. She knows that they've been staying with, he lives with someone else. They've been together for 2 years. How are you going to get upset because he put a ring on it? You just got to get wifey material. You know, everybody has to get wifey material. We can't get mad. My daughter actually went through that. She went through with her 2 daughters, her youngest two's dad saying he was going to marry her, and he married someone else. So she went through that heartbreak, and then he wanted to get back with her, and they got back together. He divorced the other girl. Long story short, he never proposed to my daughter. So as soon as she left him, then all of a sudden he wants her, but he can't have her because my daughter has found a man that loves her children, and he works, and they're blessed. They're both working for the United States Postal Office. My daughter is a postmaster, and she is over 3 or 4 post offices. She's an actual head postmaster, and she just did that like that, y'all. Like I done raised some children that's like, they got some good genes, y'all. That's all I can say is God has blessed them. They got some good genes, and I thank God that they didn't live a life like I lived. You would not believe the type of life that I lived. I am over 45. I have a daughter that is over 30, a little bit over 30. And I was in the streets at the age of 17. When I say in the streets, I don't mean I was homeless. I mean that, I ran the streets. I did everything, drugs, alcohol, you name it, I did it. Inappropriate sex, just whatever. I just had a lot of issues going on, and throughout my life I changed my life, and I actually married a great man of God that I have 3 other beautiful children by. I have a total of 6 children, and no, you wouldn't believe it. Everybody in my family is, are like this. They look younger, and I have a total of 6 children. And the topic of the lives have been, controversy about my children marrying. Did I raise my boys right? Because one of them married Caucasian, one of them has a fiance that is Caucasian and has children by her. And my other one that is married, he has a white wife. I don't even like the word Caucasian. I like white and black. He has a white wife, and I have some beautiful mixed grandbabies. And they're not mixed anymore, because once you join black, you never go back. You're just black. So I've got some great grandchildren, not great grandchildren, but wonderful grandchildren. I'm not that old yet. But anyway, there's a little controversy going on is how I haven't given back to the Black community. I need to teach and tell everyone, your children are going to marry according to how they were raised, the environment they were raised in, and just what their upbringing was. And my children don't see color, but they do have preferences. And my 2 older boys, they just so happen to have Caucasian girlfriends because they went to a predominantly white school. Now, my oldest daughter, she went to the same white school, but she's like a couple years older than they are. So she's never had that desire to marry Caucasian men. Now, what can I say? They are going to pattern after their father, which they had a stepfather. And my oldest boys had a stepfather, and he taught them, that there's no color, that we don't see color. But we have been living in areas where we live, the last 2 areas we lived, where they went to high school, they went to predominantly white schools. Now, as far as my daughter goes, I don't even know if she's ever dated white, but she has had, that I know of, Black men in her life. and she probably takes that after her mom. Now, I was born and raised in Chicago, but of course I did try a white boyfriend before, and it didn't last very long, but I did try it. And I say this, do you think that God was so, like, he's retarded or something, that he would create a world that black and white would not mix? I think he was ingenious, and I think he meant for black and white to mix at some point, because he takes the foolish things of this world, what we think it should be, to confound the wise. Now, the scripture tells us that for the children of Israel, he did not want them to marry people that were after other gods, that had their desire and how they were raised were after other gods. In other words, he wanted them to marry within the Jewish tribe, within the tribes of Jewish tribes of Judah, Benjamin. And one of the reasons why is not because of the color of their skin, but because of the content and the character of their heart. He was afraid that whatever wives that they would take, they would draw them away from their God. And that's the problem. It's not the color of the skin, but it is what kind of content is in their character. Are they individuals? It's getting darker and darker. Are they individuals that he does not want us to date individuals that will cause us to be pulled away from serving our God? That is his purpose. So that is his point. So we can't get so hung up on race and what color our children marry, as just thank God that they're able to marry. Thank God that they're able to have children. Just thank God that whoever they marry, whether black, white, Asian, Hispanic, Italian, Greek, African, whatever, Indian, just thank God that if they marry people that are after God's heart. And that, I mean by that, is they used to say that David is a man after God's own heart. What does that mean? That he was just like God? No, he made mistakes. He wasn't perfect like God. But David was chasing God. So he was after God's heart. He wants you to marry somebody that's chasing God, that's interested in Christ, that's interested in being Christ-like. He wants you to marry somebody that has character, that has loyalty, that has faithfulness, that has good values. And that's what he wants. And so we can stop talking about, oh, did you made a mistake when you raised your kids? I'm born and raised in Chicago. I'm born in the hood, in the ghetto. I used to be so prejudiced. I used to hate white people. I used to, even as a teenager, my mom didn't instill hate in me. I mean, I just didn't understand. And sometimes people are racist because they don't understand when they're growing up. And I just did not understand white people. And I thought all of them were mean and how they treated people. I remember going to the South in Tennessee from Chicago, visiting, and having store owners throw money on the counter at you, and me get mad, like, who do he think he is, and get ready to do something. And my cousin them saying, come on, just don't say nothing. But I've always been fearless, so they had to keep me out of the stores. But I didn't like that. I didn't understand it, and I didn't like it. But I grew up like that, and God changed my heart. I ended up being in Michigan. My mom moved us, like I moved my children, to predominantly white school. And in this school, there were very few black boyfriends to choose from. I think I even liked a white guy before and didn't understand how I could hate white girls, but like a white guy. But even in the 5th and the 6th grade, we didn't have much of a choice. a selection of men. We were in a small little country town. She moved us drastically, like the city mouse and the country mouse. That little story we used to hear when we were growing up. Long story short, I stopped beating up white kids and white girls. I used to beat them up. I used to think they were the enemy. And unfortunately, I did. I used to do drastic things to people. I used to be really, really messed up as far as my prejudging. That's what prejudice is prejudging. And you're not supposed to prejudge a book by its cover. You're supposed to know who you're dealing with. And so, make a long story short, God dumped me right there in Michigan. And I ended up liking basketball and playing on the basketball team. And would you know it, all of the players were white girls. And so we had to take showers together. We had to practice together. And it just so happened I was best friends with a girl that had white people in her family. God knows how to put you in situations. She had a brother that had a white wife, and she had another brother that had a white girl that he was dating. Her name was Stephanie. It just so happened Stephanie ended up being one of my best friends. But anyway, to make a long story short, I learned how to I realized that white people weren't bad, and they smoked good weed too. So I just learned how to get along, and we used to just go to practice, smoke weed, drink beer, and hang out and go to practice, get the best grades we could. And I learned that white people weren't all that bad. Not saying that I trusted all of them, because I didn't trust all of them. And I always thought that they would give you up quicker than a black person, which kind of, sort of, to me, I'm a little more, still biased about that. I think it's true. But anyway, now that I'm on the legal side of things, and I don't dislike whites at all. I have a mixed family. I have mixed grandchildren, and I am enjoying my life with my children. So if you want to know about me, I am Evangelist Marilyn Gay. I have a few children, a couple of sons that date white. One of them is married in the military, but I just have successful children. And success to me for a black man is me training and teaching my children how to love people, treat people right, provide for their children, not to and teaching my daughters that you don't have to abort your baby. God will make a way for you to be able to have that baby and still provide for that child. And so I try to teach Christian values to my children. So long story short, if you want to know how I feel on if my children should marry black or white or whatever the case may be, as long as they marry somebody that's going to treat them good. And I have some daughter-in-laws that are white that treat my grandchildren good. They don't treat them to hate color, and they treat my sons good. If they don't treat my sons good, my sons will say, hey, gotta go. That's how we are. If we're not going to be treated right, male or female in our family, we're not going to stay in a bad relationship. We know how to keep it moving. So that's the main thing, is to teach our children to not see color and to do the best they can, and mainly to be loyal and to be faithful to whoever they are with. It's been great talking to you guys. I wanted to give y'all a little Alabama stuff, because right when I started to do this live, the senator placed a phone call to my phone, and I decided to give y'all a little bit of what was going on in Alabama and how our senator stood. So if you're a person from Alabama and you're listening to this live, you got a little bit of history on my channel. You'll get a little bit of a lot of stuff from me. I am so totally universal. I get along with pretty much anybody. And if I can't get along with you, then something's wrong. Something's wrong with you if I can't get along with you. I want you to make it a point to share my videos, to watch my videos, and subscribe to my videos. If you don't see some kind of commentary that interests you, stick around because I'm coming your way. So just hang out with me. Subscribe to my channel. I'll talk about a lot of different things because I've been through a lot and I've done a lot. Anything you want to see on my channel, you just let me know and I will talk about it. But one thing I won't do is I won't sit here and lie to you, and I won't keep it real. I'm 100% real. You'll always find that I'm real. I want you guys to have a blessed day, and it's getting darker and darker. This is my favorite spot, by the way. If you always see this spot by the door, it's because I don't like artificial light. I hate artificial light. I like natural sunlight, natural light. So right now, you're seeing me in my living room. Stuff is packed up. You see a lot of stuff because I'm moving. I'm leaving this house to my boys so they can have it. I can't deal with it. And so my daughter and myself and my younger son, we're going to be moving to another house. So it's a little unorthodox, but you're not here to see my house. You're here to listen to me. I want you to have a blessed rest of the day. See, I finally got those braids out. So I'm just loving this. I'm just loving this. This is not going to be for long. Enjoy this because I'm going blonde. I don't know. Some people say, oh, I like your hair like that. Well, I want to go blonde. So I'm going to go blonde on Saturday unless I chicken out. But every summer I like to try to go blonde. Everybody likes me as blonde. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see how long we keep this. All right. We're going to sign out. It's 30 minutes. I'm glad I didn't do a long live. Good talking to you guys. Subscribe to my channel. Push that button. Subscribe, and chat with me on my page. All right. Take care. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.